So, welcome to the next class, that is 13th period of this class. So, in the last class, we have discussed the point related to our constitution. In our constitution, we have discussed the point in the last class was fundamental rights. But in the today's class, we are going to study the point related to the fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy, which is a part of our constitution. That we are going to discuss. In first point, we are having the points related to the fundamental duties. So, children, you know that in the last class, we have discussed the point related to the fundamental rights. So, how many fundamental rights we have studied? Earlier, there were the 7 rights, but it was reduced. It was reduced, and present we are finding the 6 rights. So, in the same way, we are finding the fundamental duties. The Constitution has given the rights to us, but with that, it has provided the duties to perform toward the nation, to the common human being belongs to the India. So, what are the duties that we are going to discuss in this class? So, before that, you come to the point, what is duties and what is right? So, right and the duties, fundamental right and the duties are going to be called as the two faces of the one coin. You know, the two faces belongs to the one coin, like that, because without the rights, without the duties, there is no meaning for the fundamental duties and the fundamental rights given to the human beings or the common person of the country. So, with the rights, we must have the duties. So, some duties has to be followed by the person, and the rights are given by the constitution, these two persons. Without rights, there is no performance of the what? Duties. Now, right without the duties have no value for the significance. Only rights were provided by the constitution means it is not valuable. We must have some duties to perform toward the nation. So, actually, in our constitution, we are finding earlier there were only the 10 fundamental duties provided by our constitution in the when it was provided. But and these 10 fundamental duties were included in the 4th chapter, with 4th chapter A part. 4th chapter A part of the A part of Article 51A with the it is included in the 4th chapter A part, but after that, according to the 51A article, 51A article with the 42nd amendment, 42nd amendment to the constitution belongs to the constitution. So, it was said that there are only the 10 rights provided in this chapter. But later, we are going to find in the 2002, according to the 86th amendment, when was the BJP government, there are now 11 fundamental duties we are finding in our constitution. So, one was added in the 2002, and it become now 11 fundamental duties we are going to see in our constitution according to the changes made by the 86th amendment. 86th amendment, but according to the 42 How many we are finding? Only the 10. So later it was changed. Now, by this way, there was the 11 fundamental rights we are going to see in the Constitution. You can see one by one what about the fundamental duties provided by our Constitution to perform by the people belongs to our country. First one, to respect the Constitution and to respect the national flag and the national anthem is the first duty of all persons belongs to India. What? He has to respect to the Constitution, he has to respect to the national flag, he has to respect to the national anthem. That is the first duty. Second one, follow the noble ideas that inspired our national struggle for freedom. So we have to follow the ideologies that can be inspired by the other person for the development of the freedom fighters in the country or national struggle for the freedom. Third point, to protect the integrity of India. So we have to develop the habit of the giving the protection to the integrity of India, the cultural integrity, the educational integrity, so any type of integrity that's protected by the Indians. Fourth fundamental duties were to defend the motherland. So we should always ready to fight for the motherland, and when it is called upon to us. Suppose you can take the example of present day. There was the conflict. There was the fight going in between the India and China. The opportunity may be coming for the all Indians to fight for the nation. So there, our duty is we should be ready to fight for the nation, for the motherland. Fifth one, to promote their spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India and disown these rituals that go against the dignity of women. So we must follow. Our duty is to follow the brotherhood policy. Every religion should follow the brotherhood policy. There is no discrimination in the any person belongs to the any state, any religion, any caste or any category. That brotherhood policy should be followed, and we have to be maintained. The dignity towards the women belongs to our nation. That is our duty. Sixth one, to preserve our rich heritage. We have to be preserve the traditional culture belongs to India. Today we are following the Western culture, but we have to be go with the earlier Indian culture. We have to be protect the Indian heritage, what were provided by the earlier kings. It may be the architecture, it may be the art, literature, anything. All heritage should be protected by the Indian people. Then next, to protect and develop the environment of the country, including forests, lakes, rivers, and the wildlife, and show the compassion to the animals. So today we are finding the zoo park. Today we are finding the protection of forest by the development of many forest departments. So how? That should be also supported by the common people of India. That is the duty we have to perform for the nation. To give the protection for the river, to give the protection for the lake, to give the protection for the forest. So today India-China fighting was going for the lake itself. Because China wants to occupy the lake belongs to the India. So that time our duty is to perform, to give the protection for these regions. Eighth duty was to develop the scientific temper among ourselves and the spirit of inquiry. So what development we have to develop? The scientific temper, scientific methods we have to follow, ideology we have to be developed, and spirit of inquiry for this. Then ninth duty was to safeguard the public property. We have to be give the protection for the public property with the support of common people, and to obtain or abstain from the violence. We have to be follow more non-violence in the country, not the violence. So you know that today's societies, more we are finding the violence. We are not giving the protection for the property of others. I will give the example related to the what is the duty of a person. So two families are living together in front of each other. So one family belongs to this group, one family belongs to the that. In between this, they are finding the road. So you know the dust, the family going to throw toward the other families house, in front of other families. It is not the duty of a common people, because we have to be give the respect to the each families belongs to our society. That is the duty of the person belongs to the nation. That is called as the giving the importance to the public property also. Now strive towards excellence in the all spheres of the individual. That is the collective activities. You know the social activities we are going to see. It may be the water problem. It may be the any other problem related to the society that should be solved with the combining of all people belongs to the society, not by a single person. If you want to go toward the municipal corporations, so one person who belongs to the society will go toward the municipal corporation, he will not solve the problem. But the people belongs to the society, they will go toward the municipal corporation, they can solve the problem, because unity always get the solution from the problem. That is called as the duty should be performed by the all people belong. So in our language, we know that the persons are going to tell, मेरा काम है, वो मेरा काम नहीं है, वो society का काम. But you also belongs to the society. We are thinking that it is not our duty, it is your duty, because you are the person belongs to the society. Now, next point is the parents or the guardians belong to a family should provide an opportunity for the education to their children from the age of 6 to 40 years. So every family, every parent and the guardians have the perform the duty that they should send the children toward the educational institute to provide the education for the children. That is our duty. That is the last duty added in the 2002. That is called as the 11th duty, which should followed by the Indians. So these are the fundamental duties we are going to see in our constitution. And unlike the fundamental rights, there is no protection from the court of law with the regard to the duties. If we are not following the duties, there is no right to get the protection from the constitution for us. However, there will be the punishment if we are not following the what? The duties under the law for those who are violating the duties. Suppose you can take the example of every time on 15th August we are going to hoist the flag. Someone, it may be the teacher, it may be the student, who have not given the respect to the flag. So that person may be going to get punishment from the court according to the law. So every person should follow the duty provided by the constitution. Otherwise, you will get punishment from according to the law. So this is the some fundamental duties we have seen related to the our constitution. Next point we are going to discuss in this class is directive principles of the state policy. So some principles are provided in the constitution related to the direction. So the next is directive principles of state policy. So here we are going to find after the rights, after the duties, we are going to see some principles were followed regarding the directions for the state policies. So with an aim to establish the welfare state for the development of states, certain directive principles of the state policy have been incorporated in the Constitution of India. Under the fourth chapter or the fourth part from the 36 to 51 articles, we are going to see the changes or the points related to the directive principles of state policy. Which one? Fourth part of Article 36 to 51. 36 to 51 article gives the idea related to the point of the principles followed for the state policy. Then these principles serve as the guidelines to the state for any state development, and the framers of our constitution who have framed this constitution were inspired by the Irish constitution, the Ireland. So Irish constitution to the includes such a directive principles which are suitable for the state of India to get the development. The points from the Irish constitution has taken to the Constitution of India. Now, these directive principles which are included in the Constitution of India are in the form of directions. Not only the state, but it will give the direction for the central and the state also. So, these directive principles gives the directions to the state level and the central level government to make the changes. Through this, the government intends, by taking the help of these guidelines, the government intends to provide economic, social, political justice to the citizen of India. They will provide the facilities or provide the sources related to the economic, related to the society, related to the political, related to the justice by the directive principles of the state policies. Next, but these principles are based on the ethics. So, if the government or the state do not implement them, if they do not following these principles, the central government do not following this, then they cannot be questioned in any court of the law. There is no asking toward any court if they are not performing these type of directions given in the Constitution. No one will be going to question this. These principles are socialist and liberal and have been based on the Gandhian ideals. They were provided according to the ideals given by the Gandhi. An individual or a party, a group of people or a single person that comes to the power has to rule, helping these principles as the guidelines only. He has to perform. It may be the group, it may be the individual person. But NA, hence, these directives or these points are considered as the principles of directive principles of state policy, and they are going to perform. They are provided some principles to follow the Indians. So, what are the principles to follow by the Indians? First point we are going to see, to provide the adequate means of livelihood to all citizens. What are the needs needed for the livelihood families? That should be provided by the Indian government toward the citizen of India. To prevent the community, we have to give the preventions to the communities, wealth and resources from the becoming the private property of a few people. That is the second point. And third one is to provide equal pay for equal work. There is no difference between the men and the women. Both the men and the women, and to protect the labor welfare law. Fourth point we are going to see related to the directive principles of state policies, to provide the public assistance to these or to those people who are old, who are sick, who are weak, who are helpless. Who are the people needed? For these people only we have to be provide the facilities. You know, the old person getting the pension today, sick person getting the health facilities, the weak person getting the food facility, helpless person getting the help from the private sector or the government sector. That should be provided by the public assistance. To implement a uniform civil code, we have to be perform or follow the uniform civil code through the country. We have to follow. You can take the example of Aadhaar card. It is going to be called as the civil code for all the citizens of India. That should be performed by the Indians. Next point, to provide opportunities for the development of health and the free school education to all children below the 6 years. You know, the Anganwadi educations are providing. These all should be provided according to the directions or the directive principles of the state policy provided in the Constitution of India. Related to the health facility, related to the educational facility to the children belonging to the below 6 years. Seventh one, to protect the historical monuments. You know, the forts which were developed by the kings of India, that should be protected by the Indians. And we have to be show the interest for the protection of these monuments. And maintenance the places of historical places by developing the interest. So today we are finding the many historical places are there in the country, in the state also, because government has given the importance, public has given the importance to the these history which are completed by our citizens earlier who are living in the country. Next, to separate the executive from the judiciary. So executive is totally different from the judiciary. That should be separate. We have to follow in the country. To protect the international peace, we are not only following the peace in the country, but we have to be find the international peace. That protection should be given by the Indians. To protect the international peace and to respect the international law and order. Next, to establish the Gram Panchayats in the village level for the development of rural areas. That is the directive principles of state policy. And to encourage the rural people, to give the encouragement to the rural people and development of cotton industries more in India. And to organize and develop the agriculture, to make the plan for the development of agriculture and animal husbandry, because we must have the milk production more in India on the modern lines, because today we are finding the shortage of development of the animal husbandry. So that should be developed and that should be supported by the government of India. Next, to ensure the prohibition of liquor. So we have to be controlled, get the control toward the liquor development. But today we are finding the government is giving the more opportunities for the not to the prohibition of the liquor, but it is giving the opportunity to develop more liquor because they are given more importance to the liquor side. That should be not followed in the country. That is not the directive principle or guidance given by the Constitution of India. So we have seen in the COVID-19 lockdown, there we have found how much importance they have given for the liquor. They have not followed to control it, but it has given the permission for the development of liquor selling in the market. To ensure the development of farming based on the scientific method. So last point, we must, or the state government has followed, ensure the development of farming based on scientific methods. New type of methods, scientific methods should be followed for the farming of new developments in the country. Industrial development, agriculture development, or it may be any kind of development. So these are the some directive principles should be followed by the state government with the support of Indian citizens. So this is the end of the part of this chapter with the right of fundamental duties and the directive principles of state policies. So by saying these 2 points today, I am going to complete this chapter. So after completion of this chapter, you have to write the notes given on your link. Thank you.